Hey, do me a favor and just look at my super bar while you're watching this clip, and also take a look at how many thunder crashes you see during the duration of this damage phase, okay? Also, this is with 3 feats on, so in normal mode, this boss gets destroyed.
Damage.
Stay mid.
Don't forget the hoops, Gary. It's white.
Where the fuck is it? No, it's right there. I might miss this.
I think you got it.
Oh.
It is on our left. It's red.
Close. And then back up.
Got the last one.
Back out. I can get one more super. Come on. Yes.
I got one more too. Fuck. Can we push him?
Oh my god.
So close.
I tried to tell people. I told them, this is gonna be nuts in Edge of Fate. No, Sneak, no, you're wrong. This weapon sucks. It's only good because of bolt charge. When the flashover goes away and bolt charge isn't good anymore, this is gonna suck. Right, yeah, that totally happened. Alright, so here we go. This is the DNA of the build. You get infinite supers, your teammates get infinite supers, you make 3 billion orbs, so you will never run out of wells, thunder crashes, golden guns, whatever you're using. The best part is, before, it used to take like 4, 5, 6 hunters to do this chaining, if you will, for supers. Now, you just literally only have to have 1 hunter and you're good. Now, the setup involves running the Outbreak Perfected weapon. The more people that have this on, the faster you get your super. And then, for your exotic, for the hunter anyway, we're going to be rocking Star Eater scales, not Celestial Nighthawk for Golden Gun. Now, we're running Golden Gun, but we're not running Nighthawk because when having Celestial Nighthawk on, your super progression is much worse because Bungie just specifically wanted Nighthawk to suffer. I don't know. But Golden Gun is considered a roaming super, and when you don't have Nighthawk on, it charges much faster. Then you incorporate Star Eater Scales, which charges your super faster as well, and now you become an Energizer Bunny. So right here, Feast of Light, you gain additional super energy from Orbs of Power you pick up. So while you are making orbs for your teammates, every time they use a well, they also make orbs for you. You pick those up. You gain super to your next Golden Gun, but also, if you happen to pick up too many orbs because you shot too much and you got too much energy from that, while you're at full super energy, picking up an orb also overcharges your super, so your Goldie will do more damage. You're doing 3 shots, so each shot will do progressively more if you had orbs already picked up. This build is designed to shine at its max potential in longer damage phases, so any boss fight that has a significant damage phase, basically any boss in Desert Perpetual, or maybe something like Crota, this build in value is going to skyrocket. And keep in mind, what you saw with the opening clip with Desert Perpetual, that is an insanely tanky boss. Imagine doing this to the older bosses in the game. It's going to be even easier. Now, a quick thing I want to mention before going into the kit is I have 2 variants to this build. You're going to notice when I go into a damage phase, I might have on Combination Blow, and then I swap to a loadout for the damage phase. That is because I have an AdWave version of this build, and then I go into the DPS version. So the AdWave version you're seeing on screen right now, this is the Combo Blow version. It is exactly the same to the other build, except I have Combination Blow on, and in the DPS one, I have Snare Bomb. So for this build, if you care, this is basically my grapple nuke build from my first video that I talked about. But essentially, I crank my grenade stat, crank my melee as much as I can, have my class ability around 70-ish, and then go to town on everything. Then for the actual damage phase, I swap, and I will lose my melee charge if I go into that, but if I have Prismatic, which I should because I'm using Outbreak like a psycho, then I can just pop Prismatic and get my Snare Bomb back instantly, and this becomes the kit for that. So, we have Golden Gun as our super, obviously, both versions because you lose your abilities if you have different supers. I have Gambler's Dodge on for my dodge, though if you want, you could have Acrobat's Dodge on here, and then when you activate Ascension, you will get Amplified for more DR, and also Acrobats will give you Radiant in the event that you don't have a well at the moment for whatever reason, so that's a plus. Otherwise, you can just keep Gambler's Dodge on for the grappling in between phases. Then we have Snare Bomb, like I mentioned. This is for weakening the boss in the event that you don't have, like, a Tractor or somebody else running Tether, for example. Just an extra weaken. And then I have Grapple. This technically could be swapped out for Dustfield if you want to get more Darkness energy back. But again, we're using Outbreak, so your meter's just going to get juiced from that on its own. And I'd rather just keep Grapple. That way, after the boss damage phase, if it's not dead, I go back to the Add Wave build, and I already have my Grapple active without having to wait to charge it back. The aspects are Ascension. As I mentioned earlier, you ascend, then go Amplified. That gives you DR, also makes you very hard to hit, which is honestly an insane combo. Legitimately, this might be the best aspect in the entire game, point blank. And then for my other one, it's Stylish Executioner. Stylish makes you invis, which is obviously really good defensively, but also it provides massive damage to the grapple build. So ideally, I want to go Ascension. Something doesn't die from Ascension, but is getting jolted. I then punch it in the face with Combo Blow. Immediately after punching in the face, I activate Grapple, which means I will be invis while in my grapple. And at that point, I will one-shot literally anything on normal difficulty with the grapple, including yellow bars. Now for the fragments. Keep in mind, I'm using 2 variants for this build, so that's why these fragments are the way they are. They have to stay exactly the same when I swap between, otherwise you lose all your abilities. So this is ideally for the grapple build, but these could also be used during the damage phase, so it works out perfectly. First up, Facet of Hope. While you have an elemental buff, your class ability regenerates more quickly. This is to keep up my Ascension shenanigans as much as I can for maximum amplified. Number 2 is going to be Facet of Protection. This is DR when you're surrounded, which again, with my grapple build, is all the time, so I have extra DR around enemies. And also, if you're in a boss fight where there's adds around the boss, this also would help. Number 3 is going to be Facet of Purpose. Picking up an orb grants you a light ability depending on what your super is. So in my case, it's Golden Gun, which means when I pick up an orb, I will get Restoration, which is great overall. And then my 4th fragment is going to be Facet of Courage. This works in both builds. So when you have a light ability dealing damage while the boss is affected by a darkness debuff, you do more damage. So in a boss fight, you can shoot something like Tanasha's, or somebody throws like a Threaded Spike. Anything that gives the boss a strand or a stasis debuff, and then bang, your abilities do more damage. And given that you're going to fire off 3, 4, 5, 6 golden guns on a boss, this comes in really handy. Now, if you're running only the Star Eater variant and you want to self-apply Radiant to yourself without using Acrobat's Dodge, then you might want to replace one of these fragments with Facet of Dawn. That way, when you throw your smoke, you instantly become Radiant, pop Goldie, bang, 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 you get your shots off, and then you can just go into the well without having to be like, all right, pop Goldie, step in well, step out of well, shoot, step back in, rinse, repeat. And here's the armor setup for this build with some mods. So, for my stats, I have 150 super, but I also have 3 super fonts in my helmet, which equals out to 200 total once I have an orb on me, which is very easy. So 200 super, and then I cranked as much weapons as I could with my old armor setup. I'm sure I'll edit this once I have like tier 5 armor to mess with, but in the meantime, it's 124. And then in my boots, I have 3 kinetic weapon surge for Outbreak. Everything else does not matter, except for maybe having time dilation in your class item, but realistically, everyone's making so many orbs, you probably wouldn't even need this, but I thought I'd mention it. Also, if you're dodging a lot, Powerful Attraction is nice because you scoop up all of the orbs that everyone's making with one single dodge, so that could also be helpful. For those curious, here's my Outbreak. I have Fluted Barrel, Tac Mag, Rewind Rounds, and then everything is just curated, right? The only weapon you need for this, by the way, is Outbreak. Literally the only thing. That is it. You could use whatever energy, whatever heavy that you want. The only thing you're going to be firing is just Outbreak. So do whatever you want with the other 2 slots. Anyway, that's the build. Hope you guys enjoy. I'll have a dim link in the description below, as always. If you did enjoy the video, please consider subscribing today. It does help the channel grow and is much appreciated. If you want to go the extra mile, you can leave a like and or a comment below as well. If you don't know what to leave as a comment, you could leave Infinite Goldie as the comment. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time.